Hey, welcome back to Creative Dirt Podcast. My name is Honor Taryn Teague, and this is a podcast all about cultivating creativity in your everyday life. Today is part 2 of the spa, bath, and body episode of creative self-care. And we're going to be talking to Renee, the owner of the Fragrance Lab Nashville, about how she is creating these unique fragrance discovery experiences for people here in Nashville. We're going to hop right into that conversation. And don't forget to stick around until the end to hear about some recommendations that Creative Dirt has for engaging with bath and body in a creative way. Without further ado, here's Renee. How's it going today?
Today is amazing.
Is it?
It is.
I'm so glad to hear that. It is a great day. It's cold here. So can you tell us about your business?
Absolutely. The Fragrance Lab Nashville is a fine fragrance oil boutique. We have designer-inspired oils and perfume and colognes that you can pretty much come in and sample and try out different things that, you may not have heard of.
That sounds so fun. So here's a little bit of tea. I've been on a fragrance journey myself, and I've been collecting some like discovery sets and trying to find a perfume that I enjoy, but discovery sets can be expensive. It can add up. So I love what you offer. You can just come in and sort of experience everything. It sounds like so much fun.
It is. And that's what people tell us. They say when they leave, they're so inspired by what we teach. And it's an experience. It's a red carpet experience.
Red carpet. Red carpet. We can all use a little more red carpet experiences in our life.
Yes.
So what made you interested in fragrance just in general?
I think fragrances define who we are. It's part of the masterpiece of how we show up in the world. And so the fragrances that I wear, I like to, when I walk into the room, people are like, wow.
Who is she?
Yes. So awesome. It's a lasting impression.
And I feel like it always also like connects memories, because I feel like scents are there's a lot of memory connection there. So it can make you think about good things, maybe bad things, but hopefully good things.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And when I was a child, I had a teacher, my kindergarten teacher. I was so excited to go into her classroom, and her perfume filled the entire classroom. And I remembered what that smell was at 4 or 5 years old. And as I started to dive into fragrances, I realized her fragrance was Cinnabar by Estee Lauder.
Oh, you found it.
Yes,
that's so cool.
And so, yes, fragrances will leave a lasting memory.
I love that you said that, because it can remind you of certain people, like you mentioned. I know my mom growing up, she would always wear Obsession by Calvin Klein. Yes. And every time I would hug her before she would go to work, when I was like a little kid, I would always smell that Obsession smell.
It's the best. I love that. That's one of my classic favorites.
Yes. It just reminds you of a person, a time, a place. It's like so cool that smell can do that. Isn't that interesting?
Absolutely.
So what made you want to take your fragrance love to a business? How did we get there?
Well, let's just say I decided I'm going to start doing things that's fun.
I love that idea.
I've been in the beauty industry. I am a licensed technician, nail technician, a licensed esthetician. And, I just wanted to do something that was fun. I wanted to continue to meet people. I'm a lot older now, and I love the opportunity to meet different people. And this is a segue to being able to make people happy and still do what I love doing.
That's really cool. Because it seems like with the Fragrance Lab experience, you can probably have a little bit more of connection with people. Absolutely. As opposed to doing some other types of like esthetician work, I would assume.
Yes, that is so true.
When someone comes into your shop, what can they expect? What happens?
Okay, so the new location, we have approximately 200 colognes and perfume.
Oh my gosh.
Oils on the shelf. So when people walk in, they're They're shocked
Okay.
because it spans
There's
the
a lot.
wall. Yes, it's a lot, but we help simplify things.
Okay.
You sit down, you have a fragrance concierge that
Mhm.
gives you one-on-one attention, and we find out what are your fragrance personality. You take a small quiz. It takes about 60 seconds to take, and we find out, which of the fragrance families that you favor.
And then you have that like one-on-one experience with the concierge.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
I feel like there's not really a great way to select a perfume on your own. It can be very confusing because if you go into a department store, there's so many things to smell, and then there's coffee beans, and then it's like it's great to have someone to kind of guide you through that. That's cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I wanted to provide, and I call it a red carpet fragrance experience, similar to going to a fine jewelry store. You sit, you relax, you're not rushed, and sometimes you need a few suggestions.
Yeah, because fragrance too is sort of that luxury experience. Even if you're not buying an expensive perfume, it still is sort of a way to dip into luxury.
Yes.
Even with like dupes and all that kind of stuff. Okay, what is your opinion on dupes?
Well, we call them designer inspired fragrance.
Oh,
so that's basically what we have. And so you can come sample things here with our aroma mingle appointment. You can layer multiple designer perfumes and colognes, and or try that out just so you can go to the department store and buy the larger bottle if you choose.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I feel like sometimes when you're buying a huge bottle, there's making a huge commitment for a long time.
Yeah.
I kind of like to have fragrances for different chapters of life. So I
Absolutely.
like the little short and sweet little bit of fragrance. That's fun.
Absolutely.
So you're talking about layering.
Yes.
What is that?
Oh, it's so awesome. I like Prada Candy, and I also like Sauvage. I like masculine colognes, although I'm girly and pretty. I like to blend or layer multiple designer oil.
So can you also do that with things like lotions and like deodorant or other things too?
Well, deodorant, not quite sure. But lotions, yes. Sometime in the near future, the oils that you blend and create when you come to the Fragrance Lab Nashville, we'll be able to add them into body butters and lotions.
Oh, that's so cool. And so with creating that coming up, are you like in the back, like making these body butters? It sounds like fun.
Well, we're preparing. We've got something pretty amazing.
Oh, this is kind of a big question.
Okay.
How do you decide what scent is right for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, it all depends.
It all depends.
People are like stars in the sky. You change from season to season. So it all depends on really the mindset or the event that you're attending, or just where you are in life. I think energy and vibration is a lot. Contributes a lot to what you choose. So if you're happy, you're going to pick something that is going to be inspiring.
Do you think that fragrance can influence how we feel about ourselves too?
Absolutely. There are some fragrances that I wear during a date. Oriental and florals are usually sensual fragrances. So I want to convey, hey, we're going to have a nice time, calm environment, So absolutely.
That's really cool. I like the idea of two different scents. Like if I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a confident girl today. Like I'm going to be wearing this one and that one. So you probably sampled millions of scents.
Quite a few, and different blends as well.
Oh, great point. So you mentioned like Sauvage.
Sauvage. Dior.
Sauvage?
Yes.
Okay, I pronounced it wrong.
The inspired.
The inspired one. What is your favorite inspired scent or even blend of like scent families? Because I'm sure experienced the world.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Chocolate. I love chocolate.
Oh, I love chocolate.
But I'm allergic to chocolate.
What?
So, yes, I am.
Does that react to the scent, like
not
oil
the
on
scent,
your body? Okay.
But chocolate and pink sugar.
Pink sugar.
Pink sugar.
What makes it pink?
It's like a sweet, warm, marshmallowy, fluffy scent.
That's
well, when you
cool.
combine pink sugar and chocolate, you smell like a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. So that's one of our layered fragrance blends.
Okay. I'd be happy to smell like a chocolate chip cookie
Yes.
all day. So coming into your shop,
Yes.
we've got someone new coming in. What can they, you mentioned a little bit about what happens when they come in, what they can expect. How does that differ from what does happen in a department store or Sephora or an Ulta? What can they sort of expect from your shop that might be different?
Okay. So, of course, we have fragrance concierge, which give one-on-one attention. You schedule a time. This is a pre-booked service. So you go online, you book your appointment, and you come in. And that time, that hour slot is dedicated to you and only you.
You had mentioned too, like just having to be a slow experience. And that's like really the best part. Because service is like, it can be hard to find like just a really good customer experience sometimes when you go somewhere, when you have a place that does that, it really is like, makes a difference.
Absolutely. And typically within 20 to 30 minutes, you tend to get nose blind. So,
great point.
yes.
Like when you eat too much ice cream.
Yes.
So how do you guys address that?
So our fragrance concierge, you take the quick quiz, fragrance personality quiz, and then we just start pulling samples of oils and colognes that fall into the category of what fragrance that you would cater to.
Okay.
And we go from there and we make suggestions. Typically within 30 minutes you find something that you like. Yeah.
So you're having it done in the time before you turn nose blind.
Yes, definitely.
That's awesome. I love too that you guys are using blends. And it's something that you're not going to be able to find like anywhere else.
Yes. You can create multiple options.
Okay, I've got some perfume specific questions for you. We're doing some perfume questions. So where do you apply perfume?
Okay. So you apply perfume on your pulse points. Is where you feel your heartbeat. So behind your ears, your chest, your wrist, the inner folds of your elbows and knees. So yes.
Okay. I didn't realize it was where you feel your heartbeat. I was like, I just seen women put it on here.
Yeah.
And so on your wrist. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll do that.
Yes.
So if you put your wrists together and you smash it, is that bad?
Well, what that does, that causes the fragrance molecules to collapse. So just, dab and that's it.
Just a dab.
Just a dab.
Okay. I didn't know that. I had heard that was bad and I didn't know why, but now I know. Okay. So we talked about layering. Now, does this spray form versus a rollerball form, does that have a different smell profile or should we expect the same?
Pretty much, the alcohol there, of course, it encapsulates the oil. So yes, it'll be a little bit stronger. However, the oil lasts longer.
Okay.
So you don't have to use a lot. A little bit will do you. And typically our roller bottles last about 6 months.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Speaking of getting perfume to last longer.
Okay.
Do you have any tips? Because it kind of depends on the perfume. Sometimes some last longer than others. What do you think?
Okay, so it all depends on the concentration. In our 1 ounce bottle, we put 15% alcohol, which will last about 4 to 5 hours. With our roller, it's a little bit longer because it's more concentrate. It's not diluted like the alcohol spray. And if you take a lotion, like a neutral lotion, and you apply your lotion and then your perfume, it'll last longer.
Okay, cool. So that just kind of makes like sticky. Is that what helps? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So this season is all about self-care and creativity. And I love the creativity in the fragrance world and how you're exploring that and helping people on their fragrance journeys. All that to say, do you think that fragrance experience is a part of self-care, and why or why not?
Absolutely. As I mentioned before, I think it's just the final touch to the masterpiece of who you are.
Mhm.
You know, how you show up in the world, you can express that with the perfume or the cologne that you wear.
That's so cool. It's the cherry on top, the Tom Ford cherry on top. So, okay, for our listeners who may not be in the Nashville area, how would you encourage them to go on a fragrance journey? Is it just discovery sets, or like what should they
Okay.
do?
So I would say just Google perfume companies or
Mhm.
perfume making in their city. Typically, there is 1 to 2 companies
Mm.
in your city that host perfume classes. Soon, and sometime in April, we will have a scent crafters workshop where you can come in and create your own signature blend.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I want to go to that.
From essential oils,
That's
yes.
so fun. Okay, so I really like that your suggestion is to get out into the city, have an experience in a store that's not could be a department store, but not necessarily a department store. Have sort of a
Yes.
one-on-one journey, just like your
Yes.
shop offers. That's super cool. I like that. Because it can be, as I mentioned, I've been doing let me just smell these different ones. And I'm like, I'm spending all this money. I don't want to like any of these.
Right.
So it's a little bit harder to just do it on your own.
It is.
There's experts. There's
It is.
experts out here we can lean on.
Yes. And Nashville is a tourist spot.
Mhm.
And we get quite a few people that come to Nashville and schedule aroma mingles with
Okay.
us, you know, coming in town.
Do you get a lot of
love-
parties and stuff?
We're starting to get more parties and we are so excited because the new location is accommodating.
That's awesome. Okay. Uh, Final question for
Okay.
you. Well, second to final question.
Okay.
Why do you love fragrance?
Oh my goodness. I love things that smell good.
Mm.
And, you know, when I was 4, 5 years old, I would spend summers with my grandmother.
Mhm.
And I think I just started to notice scents then. She had honeysuckle bushes that surrounded the perimeter of her property.
Yeah.
And I would go out and I would pluck honeysuckle
Yes.
flowers and smell them. And that right there,
Yes.
paired with my kindergarten teacher, I
Mhm.
just started to love how things, different environments, you know, the smell, how they inspired me.
I love that because it's sometimes we don't think about how just like good smells really have an effect on us, but we know immediately bad smells.
Yes.
It is very easy to tell if you have a bad smell, if you walk by something or someone and you're like, oh my gosh, it puts your mind in a different state and you're like, get away.
Yes. And my children, they laugh at me. And, you know, I'll say, don't you all smell that? And they're like, Mom, you got a hound dog nose.
Really?
And I'm like, okay, let me just.
It's good. Do you think you've like acquired a stronger nose over time through perfumery?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
So you can develop that even stronger because sometimes I feel like you'll read a perfume label and it'll be like, oh, it's got tonka and pear and all of these things, and I'm like, I smell vanilla.
Right.
Yeah. So if we have any folks who are in the Nashville area and listening, where can they find you?
Okay, so go online and book an appointment,
Mhm.
an aroma mingle. Soon in April, a scent crafters workshop at www.thefragrancelabnashville.com.
Perfect. Well, we're so
Yes.
excited to find you. Are you on the socials as well?
Yes,
Okay.
we are on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram.
Love it. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Renee.
Thank you for having me.
This was so fun. I can't wait to
Absolutely.
go try some perfumes. I love that Renee prioritizes fun. That is so exciting. I love that she said that. And I can really tell by the way she speaks about what she loves to do that her experience is really luxurious and slow and authentic and thoughtful. And I'm so excited about what she's doing, especially the fragrance creation party. Hello, I'm definitely going to be there. That sounds fun. So let's get into some recommendations for how to engage in bath and body in an era that is definitely driven by TikTok consumerism. But how can we engage in that in a way that is driven by us and not by somebody else? telling us what we should be doing. So number one, like Renee mentioned today, if you want to have really great, authentic experiences trying to, pick out your fragrance or even your skincare, engage with local businesses. I know it can be really tempting to try to get those reward points from places like Sephora and that kind of stuff, but you really are going to get so much more out of that authentic one-to-one experience. And you can really start developing relationships with people who just have such a breadth of knowledge about their spaces. And a lot of these places do offer, like perks and parties and that kind of stuff, which is not necessarily something you're going to get from like a department store. So next, DIY your own body care. We learned this from Kat in episode 1. There's so many recipes that you can look up online, but Kat actually shared with us an exclusive recipe for a bath soak that we will be posting on our Instagram, and you can check it out and make some. Third, I would say really discover your perfume profile, your scent profile. And you can do that with the help of a local fragrance lab experience, or maybe you already know what your scent profile is. Maybe it's citrusy or woodsy or that kind of stuff. And if you want to think about layering, think about engaging in that scent profile that you know is near and dear and true to your heart. It like speaks to you and you love it, rather than thinking about, oh, I just need to buy the next best thing. Funny story, was like a body wash that was really heavily marketed on TikTok. I won't say what body wash it was, but I was like, wow, like that packaging is so cute. This looks so cute. And I really wanted to try it. I was thinking about buying it online. Oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Didn't end up buying it, but I did see it at Target. And so I checked it out at Target and I smelled it and I was like, this stinks. This stinks. It's super lame that happens, but it does. So it's definitely worth it to really know what your own scent profile is and stick to those things that you love. It doesn't mean that you have to buy the exact same thing all the time, but stick to your profile and you can have fun and play around in that. Number 4, when you are engaging in a bath and body experience, make it a whole event. So you're gonna light a candle, you're gonna turn off the lights, you're gonna put in the bubble bath, you're gonna use all your soaks and salts and make it an experience, a luxury experience for yourself. And just really take that time to slow down and be intentional about how you're engaging with that bath and body, those products, and not just like use. Okay, what's next? Use. Let's be really just slow and mindful, I guess is the word, about anytime we're having, oh, I'm like taking a bath, which is super fun, by the way. I recently discovered magnesium salts for baths. I didn't know that was a thing. And I've taken magnesium baths and they're like very, very chill and you'll sleep very good. So check out magnesium baths too. But also, all that to say, mindfully engage in your creative body care. Number 5, I would say just be aware that the marketing emails you get are trying to make money off of you. They're not trying to elevate your self-care experience. I mean, maybe that's like part of it, but lean into being picky about your scent, lean into being picky about the products you use, no matter what type of products those are, if they're from, Walgreens, or if they're from, a department store or Fragrance Lab or whatever, you're allowed to be really picky about what those products are. I can't remember what number I'm on. I think I'm on 5. I think it would be really cool to think about making what we talked about with Kat and what we talked about with Renee sort of at one cohesive thing. So it's like we know our scent profile is this like chocolate chip cookie scent that Renee talked about. Okay, if we're going to be doing DIY products, let's make that also this chocolate chip cookie scent. Like what other types of scents can we find to sort of make like a fun collaboration there? Or maybe it's like combining the chocolate chip cookies scent and a bath bomb. And then like, okay, the bath is a milk bath, like milk and cookies. And you can eat milk and cookies in the bath too. That to say, make it a scent profile party. Yeah. Next, I would also say, do not be afraid to stop somebody and ask them what they're wearing. Don't be afraid to do it, because it can be very hard to find a perfume that you like. I've spent too much on discovery sets to know that it can be tough. So don't be above stopping someone in their tracks and asking them where they're wearing. Okay, those are just a few thoughts about engaging with bath and body care in an authentic way. Let me know what you think if you have any other thoughts or ideas about how to engage with that. I'd love to hear back from you. Please, if you liked this episode, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and or on Spotify. And we will be back soon with another episode about creative self-care. Until next time, I'm rooting for you.